Next step is to add the eyes. And I've taken some brown gum paste. Obviously brown or black works great. If you're working on doing somebody who's got green eyes or blue eyes, then certainly you can do that if you prefer. And what I've done is just used a little tiny tip 3 to cut out a tiny little dot. And these can be tricky to get out of there. There we go, a corsage pin, because you can just barely touch on the back side to get that to fall through there. Small round tips work great as cutters for little tiny details. Obviously, if you want to, you don't have to use a tip as a cutter. You can make these by hand and just roll them. It's very, very hard to roll 2 perfectly evenly sized dots. I just messed that one up, but that's okay. We can make more. And I'm using a tip 3. Sometimes tip 2 may be more appropriate, or even tip 4, just depending on the size of the eyes that you're making. Now before you place the eyes, you'll find that it's very, very helpful to actually get in and mark where you're going to put them, rather than trying to guess. If you try and guess, they're probably not going to end up very even. This way, if you need to, you can get a look at what it's going to look like before you've actually added the bits. For this, I like to just add a tiny, tiny dot of water or gum glue directly to the face rather than to the bits you're handling. Otherwise, when you're handling these little bits, they get all sticky, so it's difficult to get the gum glue on there without getting sticky everywhere. So, trying to wipe the excess cornstarch off of the back of there. And then just very gently, whoops, sometimes it takes a few tries. Very gently ease those into place. And once you've got them positioned, you want to lightly pat them into place so that they stick on there really well. Now we're getting ready to add the head. And what we want to do is get the placement first. There we go. Let's see. To roll it forward just a tad. And then what we're going to do, we're going to put the toothpick in there and leave just a little bit sticking up. Again, this can be done with a spaghetti noodle. But nobody's going to be eating this. This one is going to be a keepsake, so there's no need to worry too much about those little details of there being some inedible pieces inside. But if you need it to be fully edible, then a spaghetti stick will do just fine. So we just position that on there, and then we're ready to start adding the other details like hair and arms.